So the croc to handstand or handstand to croc is the same as any other movement. We can just break it down into segments, and we can then slowly progress through each progression until we get to the full movement. Now, today I'm going to take you through the version that I do, which is more of a strength version. In circus, a lot of the time they'll do like a kipping version, which is a different technique to what I use. So mine's more strength, so it's definitely going to be more demanding. Something in a bigger combination like here, which I'm showing here. So this one where I'm going through one arms, going up and down, I'm actually moving quite slow through the transition, both going down to the croc and then back up from the croc to handstand. So it's more like similar to a handstand push-up, like somewhere in between a 90-degree handstand push-up and a normal handstand push-up. So I'm going to break it down into easier versions to start with. I actually use the easier versions to warm up myself or warm up clients who are working towards this. You'll probably find that you'll get stuck at a certain point, and obviously then that's where you need to work. So let's jump straight in at the initial warm-up positions. In majority of the versions that I'm showing today, I'm actually keeping the assisting hand on the floor. So I'm not actually going up to a one-arm croc, but I'm lowering my weight like I'm going to do a one-arm croc. So here you can see in the warm-up, I'm just doing like croc push-ups. So from an upright position, I've walked around to the outside, and then I'm going to do push-up type variations where I lower to the croc position. Just make sure with these that you're keeping the elbow on top of the hand, and you should feel like if you lifted your legs, you would be in a good position to do a full croc, meaning that you should be able to put lots of weight into the elbow. Then you can take it up a notch by actually taking the legs off. Same process, we just lower down, lift the legs, come back up again. Again, that sort of just reinforces that you're in the correct position. Okay, then I'm warming up my handstand push-up. Obviously, if you're not going to do the handstand push-up variation, you're going to stay down into the easier versions, the shoulder stand to the croc position. You don't need to do this, but I definitely recommend just do some handstand work as part of your warm-up. So if you're not doing the handstand push-ups, definitely do some like pike push-ups, and then you can do a pike push-up into a croc. So it's the same as your normal pike push-up, but you're lowering off to one side and then ending up in that croc and then pushing all the way back up to your down dog type position and then coming down and forwards. You're probably going to be a little bit more flat compared to a normal pike push-up, so your hips not going to be quite so high. Okay, and then going into one of my favorite positions, so into that shoulder stand. We want to make sure that that's strong. We should feel like we can move side to side. If you need to, you could stay in straddle, you could stay in a tuck. You're just going to, if you're in a tuck position, you just have to move your knees out the way if you're going to go into the croc from there. So it's just rotating from the side. So really important to make sure that shoulder stand is really strong and that you can enter from lots of different variations and exit as well. It's probably good to practice falling out side to side as well, like you'd fall out of a handstand. So from this angle, you can really see and feel that rotation from side to side. So I'm going to left and to right, but I'm also rotating and lowering to that croc and back out again. If you find this one confusing, just start in the croc and then enter back into your shoulder stand, doing like the eccentric of the movement. It can be done in tuck, it can be done in straddle, it could be done in straight. Okay, then lowering down from the handstand. Now, obviously, it's a little bit easier to do the transitions elevated, but it's a little bit scarier to do the handstand lower into the position. Here I showed it, I went straight down to a shoulder stand, then I went to the side and then to the other side, where this variation is the same, but as I lower from the handstand, I'm already tipping to one side. And definitely much easier if you're keeping that straddle position compared to your straight position. Okay, same thing, but on the floor. Like I say, it's a little bit harder because you can't take your head down below the hands to give you that counterbalance, that seesaw effect. So you have to take your head more in front and it's a little bit flatter, probably uses a little bit more strength. And same deal, if you can either go straight down then to the side, or like this, you can go to the side as you lower. And you probably notice that my sides are different left to right. My left shoulder plays up a little bit, so I sort of come down a little bit hesitant when I go straight to that side. Okay, now we do the same thing. So going straight down, going to the left, going to the right, but now we're going to go back up. So I'm doing it the very strict way. So I go back into the center and I basically just do a strict handstand push-up back up. Or we can do the other variation, same as before, where instead of coming straight down, we come down to the side, to the croc, and then from there we push back up to the handstand. Now I create a little bit more momentum when I come out of this one, but I'm going to do each side separately. So I'm going to do one on the right, and then I'm going to lower down and do one on the left. Now if you can do it like I've done there, obviously you need to be able to do 2 handstand push-ups back to back like that. Then same thing on the floor, coming down to that left-hand side, use a little bit of momentum back up. That's quite a strict one. Same on the right. Okay, and then I'm going to show how I use it in a combination. So now I'm going straight into the single arm croc. I'm pressing up to handstand. I'm adding in my one arm work now as well to make it into a longer combination. That's a terrible left one arm. Okay, right one arm. I think I make up for that terrible left arm now. And then I'm going to lower down to my croc on that right side. Up to the single arm, and then I'm going to go over to the left. Now some of these positions are rest positions for me, so I'm actually like resting and breathing in between. And then when I do a strength movement like that, when I push up, straight up into that handstand push up again, I've got a little bit of energy back from resting in the positions. So any of the handstand positions ideally should be a rest. And then one final lower to croc I think I finish with. Yeah, so that combination was over a minute, so I'm going left to right, and I'm including that transitions from croc on both sides and integrating one arm handstands. Obviously, you don't have to integrate the one arms, you could just do handstands, or you could just work with the shoulder stand and do different combinations of shoulder stand to croc on both sides. Normal deal. If you've got any questions, stick them in the comments below. Send me a message. Thumbs up and subscribe would be appreciated. And let me know if there's any particular videos you want me to do. Speak to you next time. Thanks, guys.